Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of the Author Spotlight. Hey, it's the host with the most, your man, Darren M. Palmer. So excited to be with you again. I got a good friend of mine, Mehdi Kouchtaf, on today. I'm sure a little bit about Mehdi before he comes on and share a little bit about him and his book and the things that he's doing to help people across the globe. But it's about Mehdi Kouchtaf was born and raised in Casablanca, Morocco. After graduating from high school, he moved to Montreal, Canada for college, where he earned his bachelor's degree in business with a concentration in finance. In May of 2001, he moved to the US where he worked steadily in sales, management, coaching, and entrepreneurship. Mehdi lives with his wife and two kids in the suburbs of Dallas, Texas, where he currently is a senior mortgage loan officer and branch manager at a local mortgage company. So I just want to welcome the author to Foreigner in My Own World, Mehdi Kouchtaf. Thank you so much, Mehdi, for taking time out your schedule to be with us today, my man.
Thank you so much, Darren, for inviting me. This is a pleasure. Thank you so much.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, Mehdi, I want you to just share with us, because you got an interesting background, but I want to just start off first with the basics. Why Foreigner in My Own World as your first book?
Well, I've wanted to write a book for literally 15 years before I started writing that book, and over those 15 years, I learned a lot, and it's all been in sales and management, so it's always have been about sales. And Foreigner in My Own World talks about a guy that came from a different country with a different culture, different language, different everything, and got thrown into this new world that at the very beginning, 15 years earlier, had no idea about. But as he's progressing through the years, he fit in very, very well, and he felt like that's really his world. That's really the world where he was supposed to be. So Foreigner in My Own World talks about my experience, my life, how I started from nothing, how I was hustling in cities of Philadelphia, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Dallas, and just going door to door and trying to make a living, making almost no money at the very beginning. But how that experience helped me to shape up the man that I became, and the sales guy that I'm able to become, and the manager that I am able to be. So it's so funny because we say this all the time, all the time, all the time. And I'm sure, Darren, that you're going to appreciate that and you're going to relate. People ask me all the time, man, hey, you had a little bit of a rough start when you moved to the US. And then just ask me basically, well, if you had to do it again, would have you changed stuff? And I honestly really, really would not, because all those experiences really, really helped me a lot. And without me getting thrown out of a business, or like somebody disrespecting me or saying some bad stuff, and me being able to just smile in their face and then move on to the next door, to the next business, is who made me now. It's not what I do now, what makes me. It's what I did 15, 17, 18 years ago when I had to make a decision not to lose my attitude, not to punch somebody in the face sometimes, not to tell them exactly what I think of them, and then just keep that attitude and then just move on, because that's not going to help my life at that moment. So I would not change anything, and I would have been born exactly where I was born. I would have moved to the States exactly at the time I moved to the States. I would have gone through the same exact challenges, because that's really exactly who I am.
Wow, man, Mehdi. I mean, you dropping bombs already, Mehdi, man. I'm just gonna tell the people, man. I told you that this guy was gonna come and bring it today. That's why I had to have him onto the show. And just listening to your experience and why you wrote the book, I definitely understand that things don't happen to us; they happen for us. And
Yes,
you're the prime example of that, Mehdi, of what the true American dream, or any dream for any individual, no matter where they are in the world. about having that resilience to be able to continue to persevere no matter what hurdles or what obstacles were in front of you. And so I want the audience to make sure that you pay attention to that, because you hear me give the bio. You hear, oh, wow, he's a manager. Oh, well, he lived here. It wasn't like that he had, you know, like a daiquiri and a straw in it and he just came. I don't know. Did you come from billions, Mehdi? I didn't know. Did you come from like great wealth? Did you come from Moroccan royalty or something when you came over here?
Not at all. I mean, like my family was very middle class where we were, which quite honestly, middle class in Morocco, Africa is a lot different than middle class the way we know here. For example, we had the car, but it's only one car for the family, and there were six of us. So we would, we definitely were okay. Like, it's not like I came from an environment where we were homeless and, we couldn't eat. But at the same time, it's definitely, it's middle class. So yeah, we had to work hard. My parents worked for their entire life. My dad worked for the same place for 43 years to provide for the family. My wife worked, my mom worked for 30 years at a local bank. So, it definitely was not like, okay, here's $1 million, here's $5 million that you inherited, go and try to make a business out of it. Absolutely not. That's not how I grew up.
Awesome, man. And, and Mehdi, just hearing the different challenges that you went through, share with our audience, how were you able, what made you believe that you could write a book? That's the thing that I want you to share with our audience. What made you believe that you could write a book when so many had failed at the task?
I could have been just like everybody else, because as I said earlier, I was thinking about writing a book very, very long time ago, because there were so many experiences, especially when I was going through door-to-door business. And that happened, like, I was doing door-to-door for a little over 3 years. So I'm meeting 150 people every single day. So you can imagine how many stories I have to share that I would like to share with people, just to get them motivated to do whatever they're trying to do. So I could have been one of the same exact people that you're talking about. I was going to be writing a book, but I didn't. But I got to a point where I had actually a group of friends. I was going through a coaching platform, and my coach, Ryan Stuman, one time he said, "Hey, I'm about to write a book," and we were probably about 100 of us that were, that heard the same exact message. Hey, I'm writing a book, and I think at that time it was like his third or fourth book. And he said, "Hey, whoever wants to write a book, we will just do it together, and then we should be done within the next, I don't know, 30 to 60 days." I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy. That's unbelievable." But that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I really, really wanted someone to guide me. Like, I'm a good writer. Like, I write posts, I write blogs, stuff like that. But I've never had the chance to write a book, because to me, a book was, as much as I wanted to do it, it was something out of reach. Like, I'm not educated enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have the skills. I don't have. But then he put it in a way that is so simple. That's like, hey, all you have to do is every week we're going to be talking for about 30 minutes, and we're going to say what we're going to be doing over the next 7 days. And I'm familiar with the way you're doing it too. But basically, Darren, people, what they have to understand is they are not on an island by themselves. Like, having somebody like you telling people exactly what they need to do step by step, giving them that blueprint, it is what's going to make a difference between one person writing a book and another person not writing a book. I was that person for 15 years, just thinking that one day I will maybe write a book. But then when I had the blueprint in front of me and somebody told me, look, if you follow ABC, you will have a book written. And everybody asked me, well, how long did it take you? And I tell them, well, from start to finish, it took me 30 days. And then another 60 days between editing, between putting it on the side because I was busy and doing stuff like that. But literally from the moment I told myself and I made commitment to myself that I'm gonna write a book till the day it was on Amazon, it really took only 3 months. Only 3 months. And I can argue that that 3 months could have been only 30 days or 6 weeks if I really, really wanted to. But I'll take 3 months. I have no problem with 3 months.
Hey, 3 months compared to 3 years or 30 years or going to the graveyard with it. I think you're right, mate. I think you're doing the right you have the right mindset when it comes to that. And I want the audience to pay attention to this. The reason I'm bringing this up is that you see a gentleman that came, he didn't come from royalty, so to speak. He didn't have someone who just gifted him, hey, here's 10 million to go to America to do something. He had to go, he's been through multiple countries before getting here. And the thing is that he's still finding a way to win. And also something that I'm gleaning out of Mehdi's story is the importance of surrounding himself, even how we even met, surrounding himself around other individuals who are winning with like-minded people, people who are focused on success. You hear me saying this more and more and more now. I think this is my calling. This is something that I'm preaching. The hack is getting for one, you gotta persevere, all that, great. But the thing is that is going to help you is getting around the right people. But you have to be the right person yourself. You have to be a person who's humble. You got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to invest in yourself, to be around others and add value. That's something that I'm noticing with Mehdi as well, that he didn't quit. He continued to fight. He could have used it as an excuse. Well, you know what? I come from a different country. Nobody's going to like me. I don't speak the language well. Who do I think I am to do this? I just need to be glad that I got a job, that I'm able to work, or I learned a skill. He continued to push the envelope and continue to move forward, and he's transitioning. Also, the idea for the book came by somebody else that was writing, that it gave him encouragement that he could move forward with writing his own book. See, you can be guilty. You've heard of it, guilty by association. That's the same way that it is with success. You can be guilty by association by hanging around the people that are successful, that are going to allow for you to reach those different goals that you have in mind. And so, Mehdi, I got the breakdown of this, but I want you to share it too as well. What has been some of the benefits of having a book? Whether it's a way that a client looks at when you're speaking with them, or whether it be opportunities that you have been given because of being an author, or what has it meant for you by knowing that you got this done? Share with the audience a little bit of your experiences with you and others, or even family members, by viewing you as a published author.
Absolutely. And I just want to touch on, before I answer that question, Darren, if you allow me, I just want to touch on a little something that you mentioned. Yeah, absolutely. I could have used a lot of excuses, and to a lot of people, those are legit excuses. When I moved to the States, English was my third language, and literally I had to learn as I was going door to door, pitching people on what I'm selling at that time. Like literally, I had no idea what, like I was selling office supplies, for example, and then when I walk into business and somebody asked me for simple things like file folders, I had no idea what the hell they're talking about. So I literally had to just read their lips and then go to the back of the catalog, and then just, just based on how it sounds, try to in my head think what the spelling would be, and then hope that I'm gonna be right, and then I'm gonna find it and then take him to that page. That's how I literally learn, most of them of the language. So I have a lot of excuses, but here's the thing is, it's so funny how we as human beings are so strong, but yet we put some limitation on ourselves that never allow us to really, really work at our full potential. Never. David Goggins wrote a book, Can't Hurt Me. And what he talked about is those self-limitation, how every time that you feel like you are done, you're most likely at only 40% of your full capacity. So just think about it. So absolutely, we keep giving ourselves those lies well, I can do it because I'm not that good. The language is barrier. I can't get a job. I can't find this. My color, my religion, my environment. Well, yes, but he was lucky because his family did this. And well, yes, some people make no mistake about it. Some people, the the end result is going to take them a little less bumps, a little less challenges. Absolutely, 100%. And that's just the hands we were dealt. Live with it. Stop making up excuses and say, okay, now that I know where my conditions are, let me make some decisions to be able to change where I came from or where I was or how much money I make or whatever the case may be. So those self-limitations really, really kill our dreams. They really do. And I just don't want to be like that. So based on that, I was like, okay, I am going to be writing a book, and I did. Now, to answer your question about how that helped me, the truth is I have a huge advantage that 99.9% of the population don't have. It's just the way it is. You know, some people have money and they use it to better their business. Some people have a book to use it to better their business. So I'm a branch manager, which means that I hire loan officers. I'm also a loan officer, which means that I try to get business from real estate agents. I'm also from Morocco, which means that there is a huge community in, you know, like wherever I am. And that's obviously in my business, that is a target, that's potential client that I want to target. It is a little bit different when I go and I give them a gift, which is a book written by me, where almost every single person can relate to my stories, because we all have story to share with people. We all have challenges. We all have stuff that we did that we wish we didn't do, or that we did and we wish we didn't have to do. But the truth is that what makes our story the way it is. And in a book like mine that has 149 pages, there are going to be some things that is going to be common between me and you, whatever it is, whatever it is. So I do have that advantage of writing a book that I can send you, that you will know a lot more about me than my competition is doing, because there is no way you can know them as much as you can know me from that book. You get to know my character, you get to know who I am, you get to know what I do for a living. Even if that's not the goal of the book, you still be like, okay, well, this seems interesting enough, so I can Google him, so I can go on Facebook and see what kind of post. So writing a book is not a way for you to sell if you are in sales, whatever you're doing. Writing a book is exposure. Writing a book is what's gonna get you in front of people. Now, you see, you're gonna have to be great at what you do, but I do have an advantage that I'm not paying a whole lot for, which is having that book in hand and then giving to people and be like, hey, it was nice meeting you. Thank you so much for meeting me for coffee this afternoon. I just brought you a gift. When you mentioned, and then you can just share with them something that you know you have in common. When you mentioned that you're from Morocco, when you mentioned that you're from Africa, when you mentioned that you're in sales, when you mentioned that you went through challenges, I thought that there are many things on this book that's gonna help you, and that you're gonna like. Here it is. I'm happy to sign it for you. That's huge.
Hey, that's huge. That is huge. Thank you, Mehdi, for sharing that with us. I mean, the importance of how you position yourself. I believe that you position yourself to prosper, and that is a positioning move by aligning yourself as someone that is a person of interest. You got to be interesting for people to want to do business with you. They to want to even know you. Why would they take time on their already hectic schedule to get to know someone who they might not feel, you know, I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but they might not feel like it's worth their time to connect with you. But by knowing that, hey, you know what, you know, it's not a lot of people that's able to say that they have an author that's a friend or someone that they're connected to. Or, you know what, it also speaks to people that make them think to themselves, well, hey, this guy must be doing something right, He's an author of a book. Now, you could be the worst person in the world, but still, in the common mind, when they see that, they know that, wait, I've met quite a bit of people, but I haven't had anyone who gifted me with a book after we had, a latte, or after we got through with a dinner, or when I was at a kid's soccer game. Whatever it is, it allows for you to separate yourself in a crowded marketplace where, hey, this is someone who is genuine. This is someone who I can tell that they are a person who execute because they got a book done. And most people have heard individuals say, I got a book in me, but a lot of people don't have a book in hand to be able to share with someone. So that's definitely allows for you, as my man Malcolm Gladwell talks about being an outlier or whatnot, and separating yourself from the marketplace. And, just thinking about what Mehdi's doing, it's not saying he can't use this method, but it's a little bit different than just giving someone a magnet or just a business card. By him having a book, it's, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going to just throw that book in the trash can after they get through meeting with him and he autographed it for them. That business card might make it in a pocket. It might make it after they take the stuff out at the end of the day. They might put it in a folder if they're real disciplined, but that book is going to be in front of them as a constant reminder of that time that they met you. And, and Mehdi, just on a business perspective, just share with us a little bit about what you're doing now and how you're helping people in the industry that you're in.
So I switched my mindset probably about a year ago. Like just like any salesperson, just like any loan officer, just like any branch manager, like at the time of let me just advertise my business and let me just get is really over, I think, in my opinion. And I switched my mindset to give. So I don't expect anything in return, honestly. If you go through my Facebook, there are a lot of videos, there is a lot of content, there is a lot of things that I share with other loan officers that I will never make a dime from. And I'm okay with it. I'm really, really okay with it. But it's so funny because there is that thing called karma. And I'm getting a lot of messages on the DM where people are like, well, hey, I like what you do. I want to hear more about this. Or, hey, well, I see that you do mortgages. Can you do mortgage in this state or in that state? So yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, I definitely, I need to make a living, and mortgages is how I make a living. But helping other people has been huge to me. And you mentioned earlier, the book definitely helped me a lot getting into that mindset too. Getting into that mindset where I'm sharing with people my story. I tell people all the time, I am my biggest customer on my book. Like I order them 100 at a time, and then I keep giving them away to people because I do believe that there is a lot that people can learn from my book. But just like you said, that's also exposure. You mentioned earlier that people want to be interesting because, let's be honest, you're right. Nobody has time anymore these days because the 30 minutes or the hour or the 2 hours that you want out of their time, you're competing with literally millions of people in the world for those same exact minutes. And let's be honest, if you're not as interesting as somebody like Gary Vee or like Grant Cardone or like some of the big names that everybody has heard of, and they don't even have 2 hours to give them, so why are they going to give you those 2 hours? Billie Jean said one time that boring will get you out of business, and that's true. People want something interesting. You and I both have been in seminar a couple of weeks ago where Grant Cardone was talking about how best known beats best. You can be the best real estate agent. You can be the best loan officer. You can be the best car salesman. You can be the best at whatever you're doing. But the truth is, if people don't know you, then, what's that doing? Like, you're just the best for yourself, and you have no audience to share your message with. So it's almost, we almost got to a point where you can suck, but have enough people to listen to you. And then if there are enough people that will listen to you, then you will have a higher chance that if you're the best person at whatever you're doing, but you have nobody listening to you, or you have only one person. Because even if you have one person listening to you and you're so good that you have 100% closing ratio, it's going to only be one that is going to be buying from you. But if you're not that great, and people don't like what you have to say, but you just keep telling that message to 1,000 people, even if you're so bad that your closing ratio is only 1%, you're still going to be closing 10 people, which is 10 times more than that best person that just doesn't know enough people. And in my opinion and in my experience, writing a book will get you into bigger audiences, in my opinion. And it has been to me anyway. So if you have an interesting story to tell people, if you have somebody that walk you through how you're gonna write that story, how you're gonna get some of the challenges, some of the mini stories pop out, which obviously Darren, like that's what he does for a living. He's so good at just getting people to make a story, a beautiful story. Then you're just gonna have that exposure that all business people, are striving for.
I love that, Mehdi, because you need leverage, and if they don't know you, they can't flow you. Like Grant says, and that's the importance. And so many people don't realize it's a game of numbers. So, like the best restaurant in the world, most people would argue and fight with me that they wouldn't put McDonald's on the best restaurants. But when it comes to sales and in restaurants, McDonald's is number one for the most part, and so not saying that the quality of food and all that, you can argue at that at another time, but at the same time, they are known across the globe. KFC is known, that brand, that young brand is known across the world, and so where you might be knocking something, they're known. Now, are there other people that can, do burgers, or are there other people that are known for frying chicken? Yes, they are. But when it comes to a global presence, the most people knowing somebody, they are reaping the benefits of being known. So you can say what you want to say about it, but they want to be known. Like in China, I look at KFCs. In China, it's a luxury. So, they even have marriage ceremonies in KFCs in China. That's like a big thing now. And it's not like our KFCs either in the States, but that just shows you the mindset of a global brand, of knowing the culture, knowing what to do. Can you imagine? Most people, you might not even have a marriage if you tell your spouse or your love, hey, we're going to get married, baby, at the local KFC. That might be the end of that engagement right there, and so, but in China, and it's not, like I said, it's not like our KFC, but I mean, it looks great. It's really nice, big, nice wooden doors, mahogany looking. I mean, it's a beautiful KFC. So, but it just shows you being known. And a lot of us are so caught up in, well, if I just do a great job, if I'm good at what I do, I don't know why I'm getting beaten. And you want to downplay the individual who's being known. Well, that guy sucks. So that guy is crappy. He's this. I can't believe, but you're not willing to do the things that you need to do to be known. And speaking of being known, Mehdi, I want you to speak on this, because I brought it up a little bit earlier, but can you share with the people, yes, the book, yes, and this is part of what I'm bringing up. Can you share with the people the importance of investing in yourself and networking? Because you do that. So I don't want to give this false or this illusion or this oasis in the desert that you're not just having just your own thoughts. You have worked on yourself, and you have worked with other people to pour into you. So could you share with the audience of the importance of being poured into and investing in yourself by coaches, mentors, programs, or getting around the right people?
Yeah, man, that's huge. I'm a firm believer, and I wasn't before, because I always thought that that's stupid. I mean, like, why am I going to be spending $500 a month, or $1,000 a month, or $2,500 a month, or $100, whatever the budget is, because I can just go online and learn everything. And I don't need some coach to yell at me and tell me, come on, buddy, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. But that's really not it, man. I mean, what you're doing is, when you're paying a coach, when you're investing in yourself, what you're doing is you're taking so much content and you're telling the coach, hey, I don't have time to go through the 1,500 blogs that you wrote. I don't have time to go through, like the 1,000 books that you read and you got so many lessons from. I don't have all that time. I'm going to pay you so you can extract whatever you feel is going to help me in my business. And I want you to make it like a short movie where I can just go listen to it, where you just sending me an email with what I need to do so I can get my business where it is. But quite honestly, personally, that's not even my biggest benefit that I get out of coaching. What you mentioned earlier, the network is huge. The network is what makes really that platform the way it is. Like meeting people like you at an event is what makes that event more important than the people that are going to be speaking in those events. Like me and you having that connection, me and you going to dinner after that event, me and you, talking right now, speaking, telling you about my book and you telling me about your book is what that money that I'm investing in myself makes me get out of the program, obviously on top of the coaching and on top of the shortcuts that I am taking now in my business, because people have done it, people made mistakes, and then now I am paying them so they can tell me what I need to do to avoid those same exact mistakes. And so and part of it is just like you said. I mean, like coaching programs and networking gets your name out there. Also, it's exposure. It's just like writing a book. So in business, there are so many avenues that you can that you have to touch on to get that exposure needed. So forget, well, hey, I spent $5,000 a month in billboards or in TV or ads or in radio or stuff like that. Now you have to use so many different platforms, because you never know what platform is going to get you the business needed that day. And just like you said, best known is better than best. What you were talking about, like I grew up in Morocco, where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, McDonald's came to Morocco. I believe it's either the late 80s or early 90s. I think it was early 90s. And the first McDonald's that we had, man, it was the best restaurant in town, in the biggest city, which is Casablanca. It was right on the water, like literally right on the water. And there are many people that go there, and usually it's just people that are rich that go there to take their kids there, maybe on Saturday evening and it's so funny because it was always packed. So many people are, like go there because it was really a luxury. What you mentioned is so interesting. Just think about it, Darren, just between me and you. I can argue that almost every single person that I talk to say bad things about McDonald's. Every single person. Yes, you're gonna find that one person once in a while that tells you, well, yeah, I like their fries, or well, I like the fact that I can go there and just get free refills, whatever the case may be. But almost every single person is gonna agree that their food is not good, that the burger is not the best burger that they ate. If it's not the worst burger, they're probably gonna give you an example of another big chain that's well known that have worse burgers than McDonald's. But funny enough, they're very profitable. They're more known than any other burger place. It's just the way it is. So again, what they're doing is they're playing on that exposure to expose themselves to so many people, and they're okay living with the fact that most people are not gonna like them. That's okay. That's part of doing business. Most people, if you go online, you're gonna see bad reviews, and they're okay with that. But they know as long as they keep reaching out to so many more people, there are gonna be, even if it's just small percentage, but when you multiply it by 7.5 billion people around the world, couple hundred countries, then that small percentage becomes millions of people that go to McDonald's and spend their money at McDonald's. And that obviously can be said just about any business. Like you go to Walmart, for example. I mean, like there are a lot of complaints They don't pay their people well, like this and that. But yet they are one of the biggest employers in the world, whether we want to admit it or not. That's the way it is. That's what it is. The government, everybody bitches about the government. Well, yeah, they do this and they do that, and I hate IRS. And the biggest employer in the US is the government. So it's so funny when we're even now, we're giving them exposure. We're talking bad things about them right this second, but yet there are people right now that are like, well, I am hungry. And then every corner, the easiest place to go to is McDonald's. They know that they're gonna go in and out because we don't have time. I have only $4 in my pocket. I can get a meal there, and boom, right now somebody's gonna be buying McDonald's today because of us talking bad things about McDonald's. Just think about it, man.
That's it, man. I might go get an apple pie after this show, man. You never know. You never know. Hey, but that is so right, man. What Mehdi was sharing with us, that importance of knowing, being known and changing your mindset. And I see so many people, like you were bringing up, they're arguing, they're fighting, instead of realizing, okay, what can I extract out of this? What can I learn from the McDonald's of the world? What can I learn from the walk? Instead of me crying and whining and saying something needs to happen, what can I pick up on? But because I'm so focused, whatever you focus on magnifies. So you're so caught up on the negative that you don't see the positive in the situation, and what you can, actually use in your own family, using your business, and even with your health, to be able to scale and be the person that's known, that's going to do a great job. That if you feel like you're going to give better ingredients in your food, you might use that too. Well, you know what? I want to be known like McDonald's, but I want to give a healthier choice. So, but you just don't knock the person and be a troll and be upset about it and not glean or learn anything from it. So, Mehdi, I want to tell you, man, thank you so much, man, for taking time out to come onto the show. Hey, I'm over here, I'm writing notes on this. I'm loving the episode. I'm loving what I'm hearing. But I want you to, if you don't mind, share with our audience, if someone needs a loan, if they want to get a copy of the book, if they just need to get with you consulting, whatever it is that you do or you want to offer, please share with the audience how they can connect with you.
Well, I appreciate it, Darren, and thank you so much for inviting me. This is really has been great. I always have a lot of fun talking about my book, talking to people like yourself, going on camera and making full out of myself sometimes and sharing stories. So thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much. It's been an honor. Very easy. They can find me. I'm always on social media. They can go on Facebook. They can just type in Mehdi Kouchtaf. So Mehdi, it's MEHDI, Kouchtaf, KOUCHTAF. For anybody that is interested in getting a book, you can reach me on social media, on Facebook, and I'm happy to send you a copy absolutely for free. Just mention that you heard my story when I was on a guest with Darren Palmer, and I'm happy to send you a copy absolutely for free. No shipping, no handling, everything is on me. It's really free. So I do mortgages. I am licensed in 10 different states, mainly in Texas, but I'm also in other states like Louisiana, California, Florida, and a few other states. I'm happy to help you if you want to refinance a home. There are a lot of people that don't know how much equity they have. There are so many things that you can do when you can leverage the equity on your house to pay off debt, for example. I'm happy to make some of the people, hopefully first-time home buyers, because there are many people that just don't know where to start from, and I will be your education. I will tell you what you need to do, even if it is in a state that I'm not licensed in. I'm happy to tell you, like what steps you need to do in order for you to get that loan, because I do believe in home ownership. And again, Darren, thank you so much. This been a pleasure, and yeah, man, it's been great. Thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Mehdi. Thank you so much for coming on. We will make sure that information is in the show notes, what Mehdi shared with us. But last but not least, before we leave, speak to that person, Mehdi, who might think to themselves, I'm from a different country, I'm here in America, or you know what, Mehdi has a business, he's successful, Darren does as well. I'm not Warren Buffett, I'm not Oprah Winfrey, but I have a story that I want to share. but I don't know if anybody will want to hear my story. Could you share with that person the importance of still sharing their story with the world?
Absolutely. Here's the deal. The truth is, if you are going through struggles right now, it is totally up to you to make it happen. So it has been known and it has been done many, many, many times where, quite honestly, you do have a better chance to succeed if you want to. Because of the challenges and how many things that you're going to be learning, you are actually in a better position to succeed than somebody that has been enjoying success their entire life, and they went to the private schools and they had everything, you know, presented to them at an early age. Because what happened with those people, and I hope that that doesn't happen to them, but it does happen that we all get punched in the face at some point in our lives. And I can tell you that you will be better positioned to take on that punch and then move on because of what you're going through right now. So keep your heads up, keep investing in yourself, in learning. I remember the days where I was making $100 a week in this country, and half of it was just going between, you know, like just like literally going, getting me from where I was living to where I was working. But you know what? The lessons that I learned at that time are a lot more than what I'm learning right this second. When I started in the door-to-door business, my manager used to tell me all the time, and used to tell us all the time, that he is making the money, which was a lot more than what we were making as door-to-door salespeople. He was making the money not because of the job or the work that he was doing at that time as a manager, but he was making that good money because of the few years earlier what he was doing when he was like us, going door to door. So whatever you're doing now, you're positioning yourself in where you're gonna be 5-10 years from now. But again, it is totally on you. It's totally up to you to make it happen. 5-10 years from now, you can be making the same excuses as many people are making right this second, because of our color, because of our religion, because of our origin, because of the language, because of the economy, because of whatever your industry, whatever it is. Or you can be a guest with Darren Palmer, talking about your book, talking about like your success, talking about you helping your family, sending them money so they can afford to go to college, or paying rent, or paying a car payment for somebody that is struggling. And this is what this is all about. This is what the struggles that I went through 20 years ago is allowing me to do today. So what I am doing today is really routine. I am coming to work and then put it in because of my experience, what I already know. But the truth is, I had to pay my dues 15, 18, 20 years ago. And I know that you are paying your dues now. So use it as a stepping stone, learn from it, and then position yourself where you will be the best person you can be, because that's what's going to make you successful down the road. And good luck to you.
That's it, man. Let's see. Drop the mic. My man Mehdi dropped the mic on us, hit us with that good fire. Thank you, Mehdi. Again, we will have that information in the show notes. Come on, man. The man told you you don't have to do any shipping. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to pay for the book. Just reach out to him. Tell him that you was on the show, Off the Spotlight. You listen to Mehdi on there with Darren M. Palmer, and he will make sure that he get it out to you. I'm going to go get my copy actually today because he sent me one. So I've been traveling, but I'm back. So I'm going to go pick up mine so I can have it. And I also will be doing a book review over it too as well as soon as I get through. So y'all look out for that. But until next time, thank you, Mehdi. And remember that this is the year for your new book. Until next time, be blessed and be great.